Hello and welcome to episode number 11 of Sharp Fit for Life podcast. I'm Martin Sharp.
I'm Nick Furness.
God, talk about dynamicism. I'm Martin Sharp and you
I
are...
knew there was going to be a big word in there. I was waiting for it. Dynamicism, what does that mean?
It's like a little bit of, extra, being a bit loud, a bit more movement, a little bit more yay!
I've been working all day. I'm not quite live, but a few pull-ups or something.
Yeah, gonna get pull-ups. We're going to have to show him to do pull-ups, shouldn't we? Definitely one day.
We have to do pull-ups. I know more than
No,
you.
show you to do. No, get you to do the pull-ups and show. But I can't do a pull-up yet. I'm still only working down with that face.
Hang about. We've got new lights.
You might noticed that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could talk about this for days. However, we're here to talk about snow sculpting, or more specifically, what to do when you're going away working. So, snow sculpting competition starts on Monday. Me and my sculpting partner Justin, we're flying out on Saturday.
And I'm not going, so see you later.
Get back here. God, nothing like being a bit of jealousy, is there? So yeah, flying out on Saturday with luck. Obviously, we've got the COVID test to go through, the PCR test. We've got the exit forms to go through. We've got the entry forms to go through. We've got customs. We've got the usual checks that people do on when you try to take large saws and other rasps and things on planes. They don't tend to like it. And yeah, then we've got the actual normal kind of travelling pieces that you would do normally for a flight. So yeah, it's not a given that we'll definitely get there, but fingers crossed we will. We've got good evidence that other people have actually managed it. Thank you, Ben, for the tips, etc. Glad to hear you got back home okay. Really glad to hear you got out of isolation, and fantastic to hear you got some more loo roll. Obviously, the essentials of life have been covered. But we're going to talk today a little bit about what do you do actually when you're working away. And how can you make sure that by working away you're not actually impacting your goals, especially if you've done so well on your health and fitness goals that actually you're going to be working away and potentially in a position where something could go wrong.
But you have also created new goals from it, though, in this particular scenario.
As in,
Well, not necessarily goals, but getting on the news and things like that. Not the news, but whoa, nearly fell off the thing. In magazines and stuff, though.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's still working away, just a different swing on it, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you've gone on holiday. So you don't call it on holiday, do you? You've gone sculpting, you're going sculpting, and made like something out of it, really. Like extra to the work.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I mean, we
Well,
enjoy
it is
doing
good,
it.
to be fair, what you've done with that.
Yeah, well, we will do. We're not quite there yet.
If you want to see what it's about, actually, check out the YouTube channel, because what year was that? Was it 2019 or 2020?
2020. It was the January
Oh,
2020.
it was?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
literally...
in 2022 now. Yeah, so on YouTube, there's all the footage from that.
Yeah, so in the
2020.
in 2021, we actually spent every single day. We went through and we did like a daily blog and see how it all went. We got a lot of good responses. People really enjoyed following it. So hopefully you guys can follow it too this year. We're going to do something similar. We've got some more gadgets and gizmos. So fingers crossed we can take a drone over. Never flown a drone before. That's going to be interesting.
And what's your sculpt going to be this year? It was Elton John in 2020.
It was Elton John in 2020, that's right. And then before that we did the Ringmaster, and before that we did... before that it was Chef Bolt. You know, Usain Bolt as a chef. Interesting concept. Not running away with your food or anything, but it's fast service. And before that it was the Ringmaster. The Ringmaster was just a beautiful sculpture because we'd kind of gone really for those dynamic forms of people, trying to get that form factor of showing the Ringmaster how his whole curve down his back and everything.
That's where he got his inspiration to get fit from, I reckon.
I don't know, I think I was the model at that point for the sculpture. But no, the inspiration to get fit, as you know, came from our holiday in 2014. So yeah, that's a whole different story.
Holidays are the...
holidays
are the commotive.
They're kind of like a big challenge sometimes, because you've got yourself in a position where you're making progress, you're motivated, you're moving, etc. And then you take yourself out of your environment, out of your routine, and you go away. And whether that's going away on holiday, whether that's going away for work, the same thing kind of happens because you're no longer back in your familiar surroundings. So all those kind of things that you've been putting in place to help you to make sure that you stay on track with things sometimes can go out the window.
Well, like a routine, and it gets completely bodged. And
Exactly.
then it snows, or your flight's delayed, or it's cancelled.
You've
Happens
been
to everybody,
there
probably. I've been there many a time. Or it's just car washes everything, or like if someone, we won't say who, but plans a holiday to not fly through the night and make it so we completely travel through the night, things like that.
Well, you know, it worked. Everyone enjoyed a nice holiday.
That was good. That was good.
Good, absolutely. So things that you could try, for example, to make sure you do stay on target is, you know, before you go out there, just check out what kind of restaurants are going to be around, what kind of meal plans you're going to have, etc. Just so you can be a little bit aware of what the menus are. So when you're actually in the moment, you're thinking, okay, I need to go out and grab something to eat. You're not just racing out and charging to the local thing, the nearest thing you can find, which might not necessarily be the most best option for you for what you're trying to do.
It's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah.
If you go to Prague, just eat steak. It's well cheap and healthy. It was really cheap in Prague, so...
You enjoyed your trip to Prague?
Oh, I did. It was just a steak, man. It was so cheap.
As a parent, this was his first trip away by himself internationally. I was worried and panicking. Now, thankfully, I've got some really good friends out in Prague, so hi, guys. So, unbeknownst to Dom, I'd actually already teed them up and said, if something goes wrong, can he ring you?
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, I'm unbeknown to me till now, and that was a few years ago.
I'm telling you, your dad looks after you, mate.
Well, thank you.
But, you know, that's the key thing. You can go out there, you can still enjoy yourself. But just make sure you've just got an idea of what you're going to eat beforehand and try and prep for it, for example. There's things you can take with you as well, so that you can meal plan around things. So, you know, you can always take, protein powders with you. You can always make sure you can pick up things like fruit and vegetables at local stores and stuff. So there are things that you can actually make sure you can still stay on target with if you want to avoid just snacking throughout the day and stuff.
I mean, I don't eat these, and nor do you, nor does anybody now. But a word of advice, do not take pot noodles. Because they explode everywhere.
Do they?
I remember that in Tenerife, when they was in the suitcases and everything was just covered in dust.
God, that is going back a fair
That's
few years.
That's a long time ago, though. That's probably like 8 years, 10 years maybe.
Yeah,
Do you remember that,
well over a decade.
Do you remember that?
I've forgotten about it altogether.
Yeah, so
Wow.
don't take them.
Yeah, just forget pot noodles altogether. Yeah.
Well, that as well.
Yeah. So we've kind of touched on the food side of it. Exercise. Now that's obviously the other side of the equation because, as we've talked about before, it's calories in, calories out. So if we've worked out the calories in, they're going to be okay. Then we kind of just need to make sure your calories out are going to be okay. And then the worst thing is if you are working and you've got an office-based job, the probability is if you've gone overseas travelling working, you're probably going to be meeting up with clients, which means it's potentially going to be lots of meetings, lots of sitting down and potentially not doing much. In which case, getting yourself up, keeping yourself moving is probably really essential. And also just getting yourself back into doing some of those exercises. Just because you're not in a gym doesn't mean that you can't do exercise. There are things you can do.
Body weight, whatever that word is that you use for it.
Exactly, you've got body weight exercise,
What's the official term
calisthenics.
for that? Is it calisthenics?
No, it's body weight exercise is the official
So what's
term.
that book that you're gonna?
Calisthenics.
I thought that was body weight.
They use body weight in there, which is a slightly different discipline and things.
Listen to him, not me.
I gave you that one because that's really good for doing all those kind of balancing things that you do. I'd love to be able to do that. It's something I'm going to aspire to a little bit later on. It's going to be one of my goals. But yeah, I know how much you enjoy doing a bit of exercise and things. I know you've been restricted in places. So I thought actually that worked really well for you. Yeah, you've got body weight, you've got calisthenics. There's also things you can take with you in your suitcase that don't take up a lot of room. So, for example, these things are great. The bands.
Resistance bands.
Resistance bands, yeah, you can take a whole variety of these. And the key thing is, they fold up to practically nothing. So, you can take that with you and it takes no space at all. What other things can you take with you? So I'm just going to have a look at my pile of goodies here. The other thing I used to take a fair bit, where has it gone, is this little beauty. And I also use this at home as well. But this is for doing myofascial release. It's a foam roller. And again, really well. So again, if you want to tick this in your suitcase, you can do. And
It's only if you're taking a suitcase, sure, that's not fitting in my hand luggage.
No, suitcase. It can fit in your hand luggage.
I mean, you'll have to just fill it.
Yeah,
Hollow.
and that's it. It's hollow, so you can put your bands in there. You can put some balls in there.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, and even things like, for example, with your bands, you've got things like door anchors that you can take with you. Good safety tip: don't use the door anchor on things like wardrobe doors. It doesn't work very well. And also be careful with some hotel doors, because not all hotel doors work really well. They're not all very strong or secure. So do check what you are going to put the door anchor on with.
You don't want to rip the door down.
No, definitely not. It's the hotel owners tend to get a bit annoyed at things like that. They don't like it when we destroy their hotels.
I would also say, if you're on holiday, you're probably either going to a hot place or a cold place really. So you can either go skiing or swimming.
Yeah, you got.
Unless somewhere like Dubai. Oh, you can swim in Dubai though, can't you?
Yeah, you can swim in Dubai.
So basically, no matter where you're going, you can either swim or ski.
You've got lots of options for activity, put it that way, yeah, definitely. So lots of things that you can do, lots of things that you can enjoy doing. So just being a bit more creative and finding out where you can actually get that calories out kind of things. Now, other kind of key things to think about when you're traveling. Weight. Now, this kind of a really interesting thing is your weight will change if you measure yourself in various different places around the world. And it's all to do with the curvature of the earth, how high you are, what the sea level is, how much you've been traveling and things. So don't panic if suddenly you get off the plane and you've put on like a kilo or something, or 2 kilos. It probably isn't that. It's probably a whole variety of factors, which is one of the key reasons why when we're working with you and we're asking you to do check-ins and things, we ask for it at the same time in the same place, because then we can keep and monitor a standard measure about it. So if you are finding you're going to be traveling for a few weeks and you do want to track your weight and things, probably the best thing to do is take a reading before you go. When you get there, take yourself a reading just to check where you are at that point, and then you can use that as a baseline to see whether you've gone up or down during that period of time. As always though, you're looking for trends, you're not looking for a specific value, so your weight will fluctuate up and down during the week, especially if you're doing things like travelling, because you tend to retain a lot more water and stuff, which means you're going to be heavier. Everyone knows a litre of water is 1 kilo, so you can just imagine how much you'll retain if you've done a flight and things and not been able to go to the loo. And
sometimes it can be hard to actually do food right. I know you should plan it out and stuff, but sometimes things go wrong and you have to have a Burger King or something.
But that's where, again, it's all about balance and working out how you can make it work. So if you know you're going to have a week where potentially things are not going to go to plan, I know next week things are not necessarily going to always go to plan. Tobogganing's been cancelled due to COVID. Unfortunately, we're not going to be tobogganing down a mountain on like Wednesday or Thursday night usually. So instead they put a fondue night on. Not necessarily the best things.
What's fondue?
It's like a warm dip thing where you use sticks and meats and things.
And that's a substitution to tobogganing?
Yeah.
Close.
Absolutely. It's camaraderie. We'll all be enjoying some time together, and that'll always go down well as a set of sculptors. I mean, sculptors are just fantastic guys to hang around with. Really looking forward to seeing them all again this year. And it's going to be good fun as always. I'm just kind of wondering what kind of antics they're going to get up to this year. One year I went there and they left out all the Christmas decorations and things, so the sculptors decided they were going to build sculptures out of decorative reindeer. So that was an interesting...
Fake reindeer, I hope.
Yeah. Decorative was the indication it was a fake one. I'm not entirely sure they could have got them to stand still enough to be able to lock the horns and things and build them out of real reindeer. Not entirely sure they have real reindeer in Austria. Guys, if you know if you've got real reindeer in Austria, please comment below. That would be fantastic to hear that.
They must do. It's cold.
Is that your only criteria? It's cold in Scotland. I'm pretty sure they don't have reindeer there.
No, that's a good point. Do they have them in America? Nah. I don't know.
Okay, so one good thing.
Geography is not our strong point. Or my strong point.
So hopefully, guys, let's give you a few ideas on what you can do when you're travelling to make sure you do make the most of your time. But one of the key things is if you are travelling for holiday, do make sure you have yourself a break and relax about things. Don't take things too seriously and stuff. Stress levels are probably one of the biggest issues you're going to find with regards to whether you're going to make progress or not. So just relax. That's kind of one of the key things. It puts your body into a repair state and you'll find you're going to make more progress anyway. That's certainly what I'm going to be doing next week. I've got 100 tonnes worth of snow to kind of shift, which means that I'll have well and truly had my exercise for the day each day. Probably in sub-zero temperatures, because looking at the long-range forecast, it's due for snow and cold and snow. So that's going to be interesting to do the carving in. And other than that, any other questions you've got?
Only to the audience. I have one person watching here. Just what do you think's the new intro song? But you concentrate on the outro, because also the outro song, because we're having a bit of a debate to see which one to use or what to use. So if you like it, comment it below.
We like the old rock better, really, don't we?
See, this is the thing. So whoever's watching, please comment it below.
Oh, fantastic.
And on the YouTube page, because it'll be on there. And as I say, there's all 2020 from Ischgl.
Yeah.
So all of 2020 of that last comp, and then when you go, we're just going to film some bits, so it'll be up on there again.
Yeah.
And this podcast will be on there as well, and next week, well not next week's because you're away, unless we do it via Zoom. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
And we've got it's on Anchor and Spotify and Apple and Google.
Yeah, it's on everything. Anything you have,
yeah.
it's on there. Pretty much. Unless it's a really underground app that you just created. But
I don't know, might be on that as well. They're syndicated.
if you have made one of them, send it our way.
Anyway, have an absolutely awesome time ahead, guys. Hopefully that's been of some help, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future. Take care, and goodbye from me.
And me.
Bye for now.